Hello, Hazel madam. Welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for being here, ma'am. So,
It-
shall we start our today's talk with a little bit of introduction about yourself and your school?
Sure, sir. I would like to give you a brief introduction about myself and the school that we run. My name is Hazel Shankar. We run a school in the Kachar district of Assam in a place called Pailapul. The name of our village is Lalang, and the name of our school is Emmanuel English Higher Secondary School. Sir, the school is a Christian minority school which was dedicated on 17th of March 1987. It was dedicated for the service and welfare of children of rural areas to enable them, sir, to avail an education which is comparable to the best. And we don't discriminate against caste, against color, and against creed, sir. Sir, the school was founded under the visionary of my grandfather, late Moirangthem Deb Singh, and my mother, Mrs. Urirai Singh. And she is carrying on the work till date. She is assisted by my husband, Ramamurthy Shankar, and myself, sir. Sir, the school, yes,
Yeah.
the
So,
school has classes from nursery to class 12, sir.
okay. Yeah. So you are working as the school administrator, and you also teach.
Yes, sir, I do teach. I teach biology for class 10 and education for class 11 and 12, sir.
Okay. That's great. I mean, Pailapul, for
Yes.
us, for to have a reference, it's near Silchar, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Exactly from the Sadarghat bridge, it is around 26 kilometers from the Sadarghat bridge, sir.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, how many students do you have?
Sir, at present, we have around 1,300 students at present, sir, approximately, yes.
And classes?
Classes, sir, we have from nursery to class 12. And in the higher secondary section, we offer art streams only currently. We do hope that in the days to come, we shall be able to offer commerce and science stream as well, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, your students, since which year they started appearing in the class 10 exam, HSLC?
Yes, sir. The first batch of students from our school, they gave their metric exam in the year 1997, sir.
Okay. Okay. And how
Yes,
many
sir.
students were there in the first batch?
Sir, in the first batch, total of 11 students appeared, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. And this year, how many students appeared?
So this year, a total of 132 students appeared,
Oh,
sir.
oh. So, uh, you know, the school has grown, of course, and it has to grow. And how has been the result this year?
By the grace of God, sir, although there are, there are a lot of challenges, but by the grace of God, we have been able to produce consistently a good percentage of passing out students every year, sir.
Yeah.
And this year also, the total pass percentage is 97%, sir. Moreover, two of our students, they got center mark in advanced maths, sir.
Oh, okay. Great, great. And
Yes, sir.
what about the other results? I mean, how many students got first division and second division?
Sir, this year, there are a total of 58 students who got first division, and second division 62 students, and third divisions are 8, and 15 of them got star marks and distinction, sir. And total number of letter this year is 114, sir.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. At the same time, you will definitely look forward for that nobody fails next time. I mean, this time
Yes, sir.
students failed, right? How many students failed this time?
Yeah. Sir, 4 students have failed, and that too just 1 or 2 subject, and those are students who come from tribal background and they have Hindi as MIL. So that is one challenge that we have over here, because we have students who come from more than 16 different language and cultural backgrounds, sir. So in this place, we are trying to offer as much as possible, like for MIL subjects, especially, sir. Currently, we are offering Assamese, Bengali, Manipuri, Hindi, Mar, Mizo, and Khasi. So most of the time, the failures are only for those students who find it difficult to cope up with this MIL subject, sir. So even this year, the failures are with the MIL subject. It's like a boy who has Khasi as his mother tongue and he's taking Hindi as his MIL. So those are the difficulties that we face. But nevertheless, we are trying our best to provide remedial classes, and we are giving emphasis on this MIL subject, sir.
How many MIL subjects do SEBA have? I mean, I know they have of course, Assamese, Bengali, Hindi, and what else?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure about the number they offer, but of course it depends on the school, the school management to be able to provide a teacher to tutor the students, help the students, guide them in the subject that they choose as
Yeah,
an
it will
MIL.
be up to,
Yes.
it will be up to class 8. But in 9 and 10, SEBA has to also offer. So SEBA offers quite a few languages other than these three, right? Assamese, Hindi, and Bengali.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
What else?
Mar, Mizo, Khasi, yeah, we help them. Sir,
Okay.
no Rongmai.
So,
Yeah, so that is one. Yes.
so SEBA offers Mar, Mizo, and Khasi also in class 10?
Yes, sir, they do, sir.
Okay, okay, all right. So that student that you said, Khasi student, why did he not take Khasi as an MIL?
Sir, actually, it also depends upon the choice, right, sir? Yeah, so there are some Manipuri students who opt for taking Hindi as MIL.
Yeah, but
And there are some.
But Manipuri can be taken as a subject in class 10?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have had students, yeah.
So you offer Manipuri, your school offers Manipuri as a subject?
Yes, sir. We offer Manipuri as an MIL, and we have got a state highest thrice, sir, in Assam from our school.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
And Mar, whether you have got any teacher to teach Mar in class 10?
Yes, sir. We have got two teachers who guide the students and who help them. Yes, sir. So Mar and Mizo both.
Okay. How many students you have with those who have taken Mar as a subject in class 10?
Sir, we have approximately like 10 to 15 students currently who go for Mar or Mizo. Yes, sir.
So you have got Khasi people coming to your school. I mean, there are quite a few Khasi people living in and around your school.
Yes, sir. We have students from all the states of the Northeast except for Sikkim, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
All right.
because there are a number of Khasi Punjis,
Sorry, what is Punji?
Punji is like, sir, Khasi Punji is like a village of where Khasi people are there,
Okay.
and they have they are like under the village headman, sir. So we have a number of students coming from these Khasi villages also, sir, in Kachar itself, and also we have students from the state of Meghalaya too, sir. Yes.
Okay, but Meghalaya would be quite far from your school, right?
Sir, actually, because we have students who come from Meghalaya as well. They stay as paying guests, or they stay in
Okay.
the hostels which are run by teachers. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So in Pailapur, we have a good number of hostels, private hostels, and also places where they can stay as paying guests. So we have a good number of students from the neighboring states, sir.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know, because your school would be after crossing Silchar towards Jiribam side, Manipur border side.
Yes, sir. On the national highway on the way to Imphal. Yes, sir.
On the way to Imphal, yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you said you also teach. You said you
Yes.
also teach biology, and which
Yes, sir.
subjects you teach, and what are the challenges that you face there?
Sir, actually, the challenges that we face is students who study in our school right from nursery. They come in nursery. With those students, we don't face much difficulty. But with those students who come to our school, say from class 4 or 5, they come into our school. We do face challenges with clearing their concepts, and mostly, sir, it is to do with their clearing their concepts. So we believe that if a child is properly taught, his concepts are clear in 4, 5, 6, and 7. These 4 classes, and of course even in the grassroots level. But we believe that if the concepts are clear, then it's easy for us to, as teachers, when we go into the class and we find that the students already know, and we can add on to what they already know. Yes, sir. And apart from that, there is also the challenge with language background, because there are in the class, when we go to the class, there will be at least minimum, sir, students who are sitting in the class coming from minimum, sir, I'm saying 10 to 12 different language background. So that is a challenge. We try to explain as much as possible in English, since the school being an English medium school, and yet, apart from that, we try to explain to them in Hindi when it's necessary, sir. Hindi, or Bengali or Manipuri sometimes, sir, as and when the need arises, so that we can explain to the students, like they would understand what we are trying to tell them, sir.
Yeah, I would imagine that this would
Yes.
be a very big challenge, especially in class 1 to the primary classes, that
Yes, sir.
children from so many different linguistic backgrounds they come. I mean, you
Yes.
said a minimum
Yes, sir.
of 10 to 10 to 12 languages being spoken in the class, and that too at a minimum. So
Yes, sir.
to start with, I mean, how popular is any common language? Let's say Bangla, or let's say Hindi. How popular is it?
Sir, actually, this in Barak Valley, like we assume that everyone would understand a common language that would be Bengali, sir. So first of all, we expect that the child would understand a bit of it. But then again, in my school particularly, many students are from Meitei community. And even the Rongmei and other tribal, they are able to understand a bit of Manipuri, Meitei as well, sir. So the two most common language that we have to communicate with students is Bengali and Meitei, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and when you said about the results and the consequence,
Yes, sir.
the related difficulties with the MIL papers, so
Yes, sir.
how do you think this can be managed? Because language is the foundation for everything. It is the medium. It is the way we communicate with each other. So
Yes.
how do you face this challenge, and what are your plans, or what are your efforts that goes on to create results? I have seen the result for different years, which by this time would be put in this video.
Yes, sir.
The consequent, I would say your results are excellent because of the location and the
Thank you, sir.
academic background.
Thank you.
Yes. So what are the processes that you are going through with regards to academics and results?
Yes, sir. We know that, sir, English is the trade language, we can say. So whenever the child comes to the school, first of all, what we expect from them, and we tell them also, is to try and speak whatever they know and express it in English. So that is one thing we try to emphasize on. And many parents, they send their kids to our school. They prefer our school because we kind of not exactly force, but we try to motivate the students to speak what they know. So basically, we try to have our communication in English. But then when it comes to class 10 and choosing a subject as a MIL, sir, there lies the challenge. And of course, from last year, sir, from class 1 and class 2 onwards, we have started telling the parents that whatever subject or whatever language, precisely whatever language that your child is going to appear in class 10, you select it from class 1 or 2. So they know a bit of Hindi, they know akshar of Hindi, and but the language that they are going to write as an MIL in class 10, sir, that they will choose it from class 1 or 2. That way the foundation is built throughout, and the child doesn't need to, suffer so much to cope up with a new language when they come to class 5 or 6, which we used to do before, sir. So these are some of the changes that we have tried, sir, and we hope that these changes that we have made in our academic system, it will help the child, sir, since they are picking a new language in class 1 or 2, sir. And definitely after a course of 9 to 10 years, at the end of that 9 to 10 years, we hope that they would have mastered, they would have understood the grammar and, all the aspects of that language. So this is one thing that we have done, because this challenge that we face with the children when they come to class 10 and failing in the MIL like Hindi or whatever they choose, sir. So this is some of the changes that we have tried, sir, and we hope that this will improve the result also. And sir, moreover, we also have remedial classes for MIL subjects specifically, sir. And even apart from having the regular normal routine, we also, sir, try and organize extra classes, sir, during the holidays, on Saturdays, sir, even after, because Saturday is a half day, sir. School gets over at after fourth period. But we try to see, sir, when the school is on swing, that children are given, those who are weak in this MIL subjects, they are given attention and care. So this is how we are trying to make, sir, and improve so that the result would be better, sir.
So for subjects like Mar or Mizo or any other languages, which I don't know what you teach because it's a 10 to 12. So that would also be a challenge for you, isn't it? I mean, appointing one teacher. If suppose there are only 5 students in one particular language, and if they would want to take that as the MIL in class 10. For you, it would also be a challenge to appoint one teacher for that subject, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes. And thankfully, by the grace of God, I should say, we have had very good teachers who are teaching in the primary level, who are equally capable to take class 10 Mizo or Mar, sir.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's good. So a teacher who regularly teaches, let's say, languages, or say English or Hindi in class 1, 2, he or she, if they are from they are Mizo or Mar, they in class 10 too.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is how we are managing.
That's a good way that you can manage. You can utilize the resources well, and students can learn their own language. But then again, let me ask you one thing regarding. Hopefully that would be my last question on this, because I find it very interesting. In Guwahati, that challenge is a little less, because you would have language. I mean, as far as language groups are concerned, say 4 or 5 language groups. So students from Assamese, Bengali, Hindi-speaking communities, and there would be other groups such as Karbi or Deuri, Nising and such communities. But because they are in Guwahati, most of them do speak Assamese quite well, and therefore taking this subject as the MIL in class 10 is not that much of a problem. But in your area, because they would be speaking, if it is, let's say, a Khasi student, he or she would be speaking, those who come from the Khasi nearby villages that you said, they would be speaking Khasi, in their home, and completely adapted to that culture. So instead of that student taking Hindi or Bangla, why that student would take any other subject? I mean, I would have thought, I would imagine that student's first choice would be to take Khasi as the MIL in class 10.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, when like when they come to the school, and when they come, like, for example, if a child if a child is studying from class 1 onwards, like I told you, we know what are the strength and the weakness of the child. So we are able to identify that. But when they come from other schools, say in the middle classes like 5 or 6 or 7, and we do take a test, sir, an interview, written test. So we ask them particularly, what MIL subject would you opt for? So if the child is coming from, say, a Rongmei family or any tribal family, they have no other choice but to take Hindi, because there is no Rongmei offered by SEBA. But for example, if the child is from Khasi and speaking community, and he or she has the option to take Hindi also as well, sir. So we would see, like, there are some students who have gotten exposure to that particular language before. So in that case, considering their higher studies in their future, we would, if the child would be able to take Hindi, sir, so we suggest them, but we leave it to them, sir. We leave it to the parents to choose and decide. But many of the parents, they want us to help them in, making the decisions at times. So that is how we do, sir. And we, of course, take a test, like an interview written test, when they come into the school, like before admission, sir. If they qualify, then, sir, we allow them to take that particular subject. Even for MIL, sir, we take test.
Okay, all right. So, coming back to the economic situation,
Yes,
what
sir.
is your fees in class 10 for the whole year?
Okay, sir, the fees for a class 10 student who takes computer as an elective subject, for a whole year, it would come to 15,080, sir.
So with computer, and without computer?
Without computer, the whole year fees will come to around 12,480, sir.
12,480. And in
Yes, sir.
class 6, what is the fees?
Class 6, sir, an existing school student would have to pay around 16,585.
Okay, and in class 1?
In class 1, sir, around 12,117 rupees.
Okay, 12,117.
Yes.
And your admission,
Yes.
one-time admission and whatever is the one-time fees?
Sir, it would be somewhere around 5,000, sir.
5,000 rupees.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you charge 5,000 rupees for the child's entire journey in your school. Let's say from nursery to class 12 or class 1 to class 10, whatever it is. For the child's
Yes.
entire journey in your school, it's 5,000 rupees, one time.
Yes. Yes, sir. One time.
All right. So, what is the reaction of the people? You know how we have private schools are treated, especially by the media, that private schools are bloodsuckers. They suck the blood of the people, high fees and all. So, what is the reaction? I mean, in your part of the society, I mean, how people pass? I mean, this I would say is very less fees. 12,117 in class 1. Class 6, 16,585, and class 10, 15,080, all inclusive, including computer,
Yes.
one of the subjects.
Yes, sir.
So I would say this is very less. I mean, it's a budget private school. It's a low cost.
Correct, sir.
But what is the
Yes,
perception in your locality? How do people perceive you?
Sir, actually, I don't know what is the undercurrent, but we do have what we know. There is something on the surface, and there is definitely something that goes undercurrent. So, as of today, our parents have been very cooperative. But because of this pandemic situation, we have been facing a lot of challenges trying to pay the salary of teachers, because we have around 60 teaching and non-teaching staff, and so paying their salary has been a real challenge, sir. But we hope that the parents would understand, because sir, if you allow me to break down a little bit on what we are charging them, sir. Like the nursery to kid. Can I do that, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so you see, sir, like the nursery to KG2 students, per day they are paying a sum of ₹22 and 50 paisa. And a child from class 1 to 7 is paying ₹20 83 paisa. And class 8 to 10, sir, is paying like 23 rupees per day, sir. And class 11 and 12, they are paying an amount of rupees 20 per day, which means 3 rupees 30 paisa per period. So I believe that it's a very cost effective and low, sir, I should say. And even a daily wages earner would be able to afford education in our school, sir. So, like thinking about computer education, sir, it is, sir, there, so much of challenges are there from the point of management point of view. So for class 11 and 12, sir, we are at present collecting only 150 rupees per month for giving them computer education, sir. So this includes like multimedia and web technology. Under days, we are teaching them HTML, XML, JavaScript, and other back-end software, sir. So including the practical classes, they are paying a sum of rupees 7 rupees 50 paisa per class, sir, which includes practical classes. So apart from this, sir, if those students who are weak, weak students, we provide them remedial classes with no charges. So, sir, I believe that, even a daily wages earner would not find it difficult to, when they have the desire to send their kids to this school, it's not at all difficult. It's affordable.
Yeah. So, what
Yes.
kind of economic backgrounds do the children come from in your school?
Yes, sir. So there are a number of parents who come from army background, like they are retired, they get pension, they are in service, so I think they are, they get good salary. But no doubt there are also children who come from very difficult economic backgrounds, sir. We have students who, the tribal students, especially, sir, whose parents are farmers, they are agriculturists, and this pineapple is very famous here, sir, pineapple of Fulartol. So we have parents who sell pineapples, and they're basically farmers in their occupation, and they want their children to be educated in our school. So it's like middle class, I should say, upper middle class, and we still have those who are also from very economically, difficult backgrounds, sir, financially difficult. Yeah. So sometimes, sir, they pay only the admission fee. They are not able to pay from February till December, sir. They will come after selling their. Sometimes they will sell a pig maybe to clear their fees, sometimes. But we never pressurize on them. So, as and when they're able, they come and pay off their fees. There are families like that, sir. So
Yeah,
as much
yeah.
as possible, yes,
Mm.
as much as possible, sir, we try to lend them a helping hand, because we know that they want their children to be educated in our school.
Yeah.
So this is what we are trying to do, sir. Yes.
Okay. So, what about your alumni? I mean, those students who have passed out from your school, what are they doing now?
Yes, sir. That is one thing, like at the end of the day, which gives us real satisfaction and happiness, I should say. That, students who pass out from our school, they have been able to, successfully complete their education in varied fields. And even there are students, our alumni, who have got good placements in, countries abroad, sir, and they're making their contribution to the world population at large, sir. And there are many doctors who have come back to serve the community, especially from the tribal communities, sir. So we have doctors, we have students who have passed out from the school, who are nurses, who are advocates, who are civil servants, who are judicial magistrates, sir, who are army personnel serving the nation, sir, who are teachers. There are some who have become flying officers also in the Air Force, Indian Air Force, sir, engineers, entrepreneurs, and even members of the Legislative Assembly. So at the end of the day, we are very happy when our students come out even from this village school, sir. And in fact, like how Mahatma Gandhi said, like village is the backbone of our country. So we believe that in a place like ours, it's like we are so happy when our students come out successful that way, and they come back to their community and they serve the community, sir.
Yeah. So the tribals
Yes,
are they have got the raw end, in the development story of our country. Our country as it is
yes,
not yet developed, but
yes,
among our countrymen, the tribals have fared very poorly. I mean, that's a very sad state. So when you said that lots of students from your tribal communities, they come back and serve their society, can you give any examples, where you said doctors and nurses, they have passed out, they could have they could have settled themselves, they could have lived in a big city, but they have come back to their
yes.
places to serve, and any such examples?
Yes. Yes, sir. So we have one doctor. She's from a Rongmei community, sir. Her name is Eden. And then we have recently we have one student from the T tribe. Okay, and he has been selected for MBBS in Dibrugarh, sir. And one of our student, he is also Manoj. His name is Manoj Koiri. He was our student. He is from the T tribe community, and he has finished his MBBS, and he is coming back and he after completion he is helping in in a hospital which is around 15 kilometers from this place. So that gives us a lot of happiness when we see our own students coming back to our community, whereas they could have been in a city, getting more opportunities and making money, but we are so happy that they come back to a place like this, which is where there is less opportunity. So that is what gives us a lot of happiness, sir, at the end of the day. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would say making money is a very good objective. I mean, but making money together with your family, with your friends, with your country, together, all of us, let's make money, isn't it? The whole country makes lots of wealth. Money in the right sense, creating wealth. So that is very important. When we say make money, sometimes we mean that you are making money without maybe serving your society, serving the community that
Mm-hmm.
you come from. Serve the society,
Mm-hmm.
and create wealth for the whole society. Take your family,
True, true,
friends, your community, your country, everything. Take everybody
true,
else. And I'm
true.
sure, I mean, and I'm happy, and I've seen your school, I've been to your school, so I know what you
Thank
are
you,
doing.
sir.
Yeah. So regarding other subjects, when you said that you had your students this time had scored 100% in maths, and so
Yes, sir.
maths is the achievement levels in maths, is a worldwide problem, www problem, worldwide problem. So how have you done this in this subject? I mean, sure, a few students would get very good result, and they're really good in maths, but maths as a
Yes,
subject,
sir.
for all the students, how has been the experience like?
Yes, sir. I would say it is the effort of the teacher. Yes, and of course the diligent work of the student who has paid it, sir. And those students, the two students who scored center marks in advancements, they are very, very diligent students. Yes, sir. So I would give that credit to the student and the effort of the teacher, sir. So and one thing, sir, students who opt for advanced maths as a elective subject, what we do is when they come to class 8, that's the class when they have a choice to make. Either choose geography or fine arts or advanced maths or computer as their elective subject. So what we do is those who want to offer advanced maths, we don't, just because they want it, we don't allow them. So the student have to score a minimum of 60 in the general math, and then only we allow that particular student, if they want to opt for advanced maths, we allow the child to opt for that maths. So this is how we try to give this opportunity for students who are excellent in math, that they can take that advanced maths as a subject. That is what we do, sir. Yeah.
Okay, all
Later.
right. So there'll be, I'm sure there'll be weak students in maths or any other subjects too. So how do you take
Yeah.
care of that? Somebody would be weak. So what do you do?
Sir, for the one thing that we try to do is we try to offer remedial classes, sir. Remedial classes, and like now, since the SEBA has started compartmental examination for those students who fail in one particular subject, so we organize remedial classes. as of now we are not able to do because of this situation, but for those particular subjects which they are weak in, we offer them remedial classes, sir.
Okay. So what about pedagogical advances? You know, how you teaching techniques and all that in maths or in any other subject, really in your
Yes,
own subjects. You know, the old way of
yes,
teaching. We have seen that
yes,
sometimes it doesn't work. So any
yes.
new advances in this field that you are working on?
Uh, yes, sir. Actually, for our teachers, we try to organize at least thrice in a year. We try to organize workshops for our teachers, and we highlight mainly on English and maths, because we believe that these are two subjects that the teacher needs to be very strong so as to impart the right the what should I say, the right kind of teaching to the students. So every year we try to organize at least 3 workshops, sir, with subject experts, and we have workshops specially on maths and English. Yes, sometimes we have on other subjects as well, but most of the time it is with these 2 subjects, sir, that we try to develop our teachers.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I read this somewhere a few years back
Mm.
that
Yes.
I think it was SEBA, and I'm sure it is true of any other boards of India, that these are the two subjects where failure rate is more than any other subjects, English and
Yes.
maths. So yes,
Yes.
so it would be necessary, in maths I have also seen that the way you teach, let's say in trigonometry, if a teacher you know
Yes.
immediately comes to class and starts saying things like, some hungry jackals, something like this. I'm not from maths, so I would know, but sine is equal to hypotenuse by what base or something. I mean, so to memorize,
Mm.
and teachers start and come with all those things. One day I was visiting one school.
Mm.
I saw that they were
Mm.
the teacher he took a wheel that makes a sound when one rotation is complete. So the sound was like ting
Mm.
ting ting, and he was from one point he was going to the base of the building. He was approaching the wall.
Mm.
So I said, okay, are you preparing your
Mm.
lesson plan for maths? He said, yes, yes, I'm preparing for that.
Mm.
So what they do is,
Mm.
and which we did too, that a student should be asked to make a clinometer, and that so day one,
Mm.
so 7 days before, the teacher will ask the students to make a clinometer, and then the day of the class,
Mm.
going to the class, okay class, okay, good morning everyone, come, let's go outside. So everybody would come, I mean, that
Mm.
is the first thing. So they would come, see the
Mm.
from the kilometer, find out the degree of elevation, the top
Mm.
of the building, and the teacher would do calculation and let's say, okay, the height of the building is this much, and somebody would go, he would take the help of someone, some other free teacher, or the housekeeper, and they would go up and find out with a rope, they would find out the height, and it would of course come out correct.
Yes.
So then they would go into the class and
Yes.
say, so what did you do? So that draw the thing, and then he would say that, okay, this thing is called trigonometry.
Yes.
So this is how we can find out height.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do some math.
Yes.
Read the examples and do something. So a little bit of
Yes.
practice theory, and this
Yes.
way
Yes.
the students would not develop this fear about, oh my God,
Yes.
what is this trigonometry? So these are
Correct.
some of the ways through which one can bring the class to life, and make the students
Correct.
feel that they are doing something.
Yes.
In this mensuration, we had our
Yes.
new building was being constructed, so the pile cap, and
Yes.
the contractor, they are more
Yes.
used to fix the rate of the slab, the RCC slab.
Yes.
So it was a
Yes.
big
Yes.
pile cap. So the pile
Mm-hmm.
cap, they did not know how much they should be charging. So the teacher, I
Yes.
told the teacher that, can you this is a problem. I think the students will get interest. So the students went there
Yes.
and measured it,
Yes.
found out the area and the not area, volume. They found out the volume,
Yes.
and then compared with the RCC. The RCC slab is, let's say, 4 inch thick, and this many feet, this many length and width
Yes.
and thickness. And then we spoke with the labor contractor that, okay, so this is your volume, and
Yes.
it should be, perhaps you should be charging this much. and that is how we negotiate.
Yes.
The students were happy that they were able
Yes.
to actually solve a practical issue, practical thing.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
and then the teacher informed me that yes, they immediately learned the whole thing, and because
Yes,
that
sir.
helped
Yes.
negotiate between the school and the labor contractor the actual price
Yes.
that he should be charging. So these
Yes.
are some ways where you can bring life into this.
Yes, sir.
But then
Yes, sir.
depends on the kind of teachers you get, and also
Correct.
because the salary is not very attractive, and
Yes,
how do
sir.
you get teachers? And so what has been your experience getting teachers who would adapt to modern practices?
Sir, actually, two things like we try to make use of resources that are available to us. So, like Sir has shared, so what we do is, bamboo is very readily available for us. So, what we do is, even for this geometry, shapes, and all of the students in class 7, class 8, no, we find that, practically doing things, they learn a lot, as all of us know, sir. So, we give them projects like cutting out shapes from the bamboos. So and they really like it, sir. They really like it, and children, they learn a lot through doing this by practical means, sir. So we try to encourage the teachers, to not just the theory but the practical side of it. And thankfully, we have had teachers who are willing to adapt, who are willing to, like incorporate something new in their teaching. For that part of the, management, we have not had much difficulty in those teachers we have. Like when we give them a suggestion how they would like to improve their classroom activity, they have been very cooperative. So as of now, sir, we do have teachers who cooperate, if there is something new that they need to do to make the class more interesting. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you one question about again the same
Yes.
thing that lots of people say that instead of
Mhm.
teaching, that schools are more interested about making money, and they cite examples like
Yes.
schools force parents to buy things from them. There was a this
Mm.
a what do you call it, meme or something going on, a
Mm.
cartoon going around
Mm.
in social media that you have to buy this from school, that from school, and everything from school. And what about education? Okay, you
Mm.
buy that from private tutors. So let me ask you this: what about the
Yes,
stationery
sir.
items? Do you force parents? Do you have a designated shop that every parent must buy their, uniform or books or copies or the other materials that they use, pen, pencil, things like that?
Mm. Okay, sir. To tell you at first, like that advertisement you said, in my opinion, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
First of all, that is very ridiculous, because for us, we don't force any parent to buy stationery from our school. Only when they come to the school initially during the time of admission, they take their books and they take their uniforms or whatever. But it's up to the parent. They can buy their stationery from anywhere, and it's the school is also open, but we don't force anybody to do that, sir. So it's like that advertisement sir said, about
Yeah, the
school trying
cartoon.
to make money.
Yeah,
It's like
the
just
cartoon.
attacking one sector which is contributing to the development of the country, I should say.
Mm.
So it's if we look and sit down and calculate at the end of the day, I find that it's something that has been injected into the mind of the people like a slow poison, which they're killing themselves actually with that type of views and opinions that they have, and they're trying to instill in others.
Yeah, it
So
also might be.
yeah.
It also might be that some schools do that, but they are in a tiny minority. Some schools might be fleecing.
That's true, sir.
Yeah, but they would
Yes.
be a tiny minority.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and you don't even have copies now. No longer. I mean, that says Saint Emmanuel English Higher Secondary School like that. You don't have any copy printed also.
No, sir, no, sir. We only have unit test copies,
Okay.
but we don't print. We don't print notebooks with our school name on it. So we don't do that, sir. Only for unit test copies, yes.
Okay, all right. But one thing is certain that there are government schools
Yes.
around you, and you are charging, although admittedly less fees, 12,000, 16,000, 17,000. Say, let's say your highest would be 16,585. So let's say 17,000. And so you,
Okay.
although it is, the fees is less, but still you are taking fees. And there are schools around which do not take any fees. The government schools, they have no fees. The books are free and lunch is provided, at least to the primary schools, as to a primary school student.
Yes.
So
Yes.
parents still choose to come to your school. 1,300 students, isn't it? You said you have
Yes,
1,300
sir.
students.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
those parents, they have chosen to put their students in your school, paying money.
Yes.
Why do you think
Yes.
they have done it? What is your USP? What do you provide? What do you do that parents have faith in you, that they have decided to pay fees to your school and send their children? Why do you think?
Uh, okay. Sir, like I told you, there are many of our students, their parents are also teachers. And, if I would do a statistics, perhaps I may be surprised to see how many of them are having government jobs, or working in a government school. So, like Sir has asked, like, why do they want their children to be educated in our school or in any other private school for that matter? So I believe that, sir, there is, whether we like to accept it or not, but the fact is that private schools are doing their best, I should say, and they're making their contribution to the society. They're producing good results, and there is a certain amount of discipline, accountability, and all of that values which is not available elsewhere. I cannot speak for others, and I'm no one to criticize or make any judgmental point, but I believe that private schools are doing their best. First of all, our motto is to provide the service. And like Sir said, at the end of the day, what comes, what we are earning, that is first, our motto first is to provide the service. And then later on, the additional, benefit or whatever you said, that comes as a, what should I say? That is something like an added fringe benefit, I think. Yes. Yeah. So, whether we like to accept it or not, there is a certain amount of standard and excellence that private schools have been able to maintain consistently in the field of education. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So to end this talk today,
Yes.
what would you
Yes, sir.
say that at the end of the day, working for so many years,
Yes.
the school has been
Yes,
in
sir.
existence for such a long time, and now you are involved,
Yes.
your husband, you
Yes.
are completely involved in this school. So what gives you
Yes.
that motivation to continue working in
Yes.
the school?
Yes, sir. So, sir, just to summarize everything that I said, I forgot to mention to you that even in a village like ours, we are offering NCC for boys and girls. And, this also gives the children an opportunity, to expose them to different activities, which, develop good qualities in them, like discipline, selfless service, sportsmanship spirit, to mold them into responsible citizens, sir. And just to mention very quickly, sir, three of our students have been awarded state highest award for students from the governor of Assam, that is
All
Bir
right.
Chilarai Award for outstanding performance in the Republic Day celebration, and also all India level snap shooting competition at New Delhi.
Oh,
And sir, like we are also so happy, sir, at the end of the day, although we face lots of challenges and hurdles, as every teacher, administrator, school administrators and teachers would go through. But sir, at the end of the day, even during this pandemic, I should say, we are making an effort to provide online classes for students. We have uploaded near about 360 video lessons, and also through the school app, we have sent answers and questions periodically. So what we are trying to do is, even with all the challenges with the broadband internet connection in the village, which you know, sir, that it's quite challenging, but we are trying to do our best so that our children, the students are not deprived in their process of learning. So, I would like to motivate every school administrators that despite the challenges that we face and despite all the criticisms that we face, we must thrive. Not just thrive, but we must thrive and continue to do what we believe to be true and do the best so that we can make our own contribution to the society, sir. That's all I would like to say, sir.
Yeah, very properly said. I would say, yeah, that is our satisfaction at the end of the day, isn't it? Being involved with
Yes,
the children,
yes, sir.
and whatever hard you may be, however hard you
Yes,
may be with whatever is said or written, but when you meet the students and the
yes,
enthusiasm in them, that
yes,
dissolves everything,
yes.
isn't it?
True, true, sir. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And when they grow up and they come back, confident young people and engage in
Yes,
different activities and they carry on the
yes,
tradition, that gives
yes.
whatever is the result. That is our result, not the academic, that
That's
class
true.
10, 12 result, but the result is
Yes, sir. Yes,
fantastic. And when we know that they are doing this or that, and when somebody
yes,
contributes something, and when somebody goes astray, that gives us the biggest pain, isn't it? That we find that this
yes,
or that
yes, sir.
student has done something wrong, and it
Yes,
really hurts us.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
so yes,
That's true.
I really admire your courage that you are working in a school just
Thank you, sir.
very near the border, Jiribam. I mean, while I was coming from that side, and
Yes, sir.
I went to your school, and I was
Yes,
really
sir.
happy to see and the kind of challenges that you work on. I mean, we do not even understand those issues in the cities.
Yes, sir.
The so many different ethnicities, language. I mean, mind-boggling. Minimum 10 to 12 language speakers. Yeah, and the economic background.
Yes, sir.
Some would like to say that our results are bad because parents from children from
Yes,
economically challenging
yes,
they come to our schools. But give those
yes,
children to us. Give those children to
yes,
us. We will make them their results so good you cannot even
yes,
imagine. So that is what you are doing. I
yes,
mean,
sir.
you are taking children from such challenging background and yet they are coming out with flying colors. And I was so happy to hear about your NCC
Thank you,
effort.
sir.
Yes, and getting awards at at the national level. So
Sir,
yes,
thank you.
carry
Thank you.
on with your great work. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. See you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. Bye, sir.